Hi, I'm Catherine. Welcome to Strange and Stranger, a podcast of a strange girl talking about strange things. Rambling is an art. Hey, welcome to today's episode. I finally paid for this Spreaker software, so I can finally talk to you for longer than the 14 minutes without the thing going, your podcast is gonna end, wrap it up. Right, totally great way to start a podcast. So, today I thought I would talk about being a millennial. Because I think that I might fall into some of the traps of what they call being a millennial, seeing as I live at home. Granted, that is because I'm chronically ill and I need my mother to take care of me. She made me lovely potato today, and she made me coffee, mainly because she just drink this, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to, and she's like, here, drink the coffee, eat the food, and I'm being forced to do said things. But, yeah, anyway, whole nother time. She also has made my electrolyte solution, which I make with Lift or Solo now, which is way better. To anybody out there who is drinking electrolyte solutions, change out your water, put in a sugary lemon lime drink, and if it's lemon lime flavored, it will taste heaps better. My blood pressure is within acceptable limits, and so is my pulse, so go me. But away from being sick, being a millennial. So I pulled up a couple of articles on the internet to just sort of find out if I am indeed a millennial. I guess I never really wanted to identify with my demographic. Mainly I've always hung out with people older than me, because generally I get really annoyed with people my age, but who knows, maybe that's what we all do, who knows. Okay, so millennials, also known as Generation Y, or the net generation, are the demographic cohort that directly follows Generation X. Well, if we are the net generation, I will say that we got a computer when I was 3, and I'm still old enough that we had landlines, and I had to get off the internet so Mom could make her phone calls. But I've had the internet most of my life. I did come before iPods, so I'm pretty proud of that. And I can remember playing Neopets and being really frustrated that Mom wanted me to get off the computer because, she wanted to do something in real life, or being on the phone with my friend, because we talked on the phone for 2 hours every day. And then my mom would be like, okay, you have to hang up the phone and go do your homework. And I was just like, oh, what? Oh, the worst. Okay, anyway, so if we're the net generation, then yes, that's me. The term millennials is usually considered to apply to individuals who reached adulthood around the 21st of the century. Well, okay, I don't know that that's necessarily true. When the century turned, I was 10. I didn't turn 18 until 2008, the precise delineation varies from one source to another. However, Neil Howe and William Strauss, authors of the 1991 book Generations, The History of America's Future, are often credited with coining the term. They define the millennials as consisting as individuals born between 1982 and 2004. So 80s babies, you're millennials too. Ha! Okay, so here's this thing. When I was younger, so I was born in 1990. Granted, I would have been conceived in 1989, but, like, there was these people that were, like, a year older than me, and they were like, ha, I was born in the 80s. And I was like, you were born in 1989. You had nothing to do with the 80s. And, like, even people that were born in, like, I was born in 1986, I totally remember the 80s. It was like, you had, like, 4 years. You don't, no. The 80s wasn't your jam. You had to, like, be born, like, in 1980. Or, like, the late 70s for, like, 80s to be your jam. So, 1982. If you were born in 1982 or born, or past that, you are just the same as me, born in 1990. We're all millennials. Suck it. Boom. That's, like, 90% of my childhood arguments right there. Although, some people say millennials were born as early as 1978. Oh, I'm not okay with that. Newsweek reports that millennial generation born 1977 and 1994. I could see an argument for, like, bringing it back into the 90s. But hey, who knows? Looks like anywhere between 1977 and, like, 2004. Who knows? But yeah, snapshot of millennials according to their press. Oh, I think we get, like, the worst press. Although, I won't lie, I follow Millennials of New York on Instagram. So, like, millennials grew up in an electronics-filled and increasingly online and socially networked world. Dude, who remembers High Five? Oh, man. AOL. Dude, you had to get the AOL disc, and you put it in your computer, and it changed your life. I would love somebody to still have, like, an AOL disc floating around in their lives somewhere. It would just to know that was there would just make me happy. But we've got a whole bunch of things going for us. Generation has received the most marketing attention. Oh, that's not good. That's definitely bad. Like, there's so many negative marketing things. Like, body image is insane for guys and for girls. I don't want to diminish. Guys, the marketing out there is just way against you. Way against the girls, too. Like, no doubt, we've got it bad. But I want to put it out there. I recognize that the marketing out there for guys is terrible as well. As the most ethnically diverse generation, millennials tend to be tolerant of difference. Yeah, I would say that. Which is, I think, why all these social justice issues are coming up and they're being raised, and we're going, look, you have to pay attention. We're different. We have changed. And guess what? It's our birth that changed us. You guys married interracially. We have become diverse, and you've got to deal with it. Like, your antiquated notions of who's who is just stop. You're on the wrong side of history. This is the point in history where there is a side that is eventually going to win, and there's a side that is eventually going to be shown as the antiquated and outdated way. And at this point, if you are on the outdated side, then I'm sorry. You are wrong. You're eventually going to be proven wrong, and you're going to be the old racist granddad who's going, I don't think people should be allowed to do whatever. Enter X. There's so many things that people are on the wrong side. Just seriously, like, half the world is already there. Just enter X. Special interest groups. Like, and I'll dob my dad in here. He said, oh, special interest groups, nothing will get done because everybody has a special interest group. Look, that's what we are. We care about things, and we're not going to give up on them. We are going to fight to the end. You need to get on board and know that, look, you created us, so you gotta deal with us. Anyhow, moving on. Having been raised under the mantra, follow your dreams, and being told they were special, they tend to be confident. Sure. I'm sure that's really true of a lot of people. I don't think that's necessarily true of me. Mom was of the notion that I needed to do something that was going to make me money and not to follow my dreams. I wanted to go to uni for theater, and Mom thought that was stupid. I ended up going to uni for nursing, like she wanted. That ended up not working because now, in hindsight, I've been sick. But I ended up going into pharmacy regardless because I've got all of this medical knowledge. And that medical knowledge has served me well as, oh, there's somebody jogging by. Hello. Sorry. I can see out my window. And I'm easily distracted. Yay! Pharmacy. So, medical knowledge has served me really well, but at the moment, now, with illness, and I'm going to go back to university, it's a bit more of my dreams. Like, writing is something I really like, and putting my thoughts and information out into the world is something I really enjoy doing. Hence this podcast. But in that, Mom has been quite pragmatic in saying, yes, you can do your creative writing, yes, you can write your book, but you also need to have a way to make money out of it. So the course I'm taking is professional and creative writing. So there's an aspect of it that could actually be a job in the future instead of just, yeah, you can be a writer, go for it. But I do think that a lot of people my age, like, I know a lot of directors and actresses and fashion designers, and I saw something the other day that said if you see somebody with an Instagram that has moderately priced jewelry, handmade jewelry, it's a millennial. And I went, oh yeah, I know like 2 or 3 of those. So yeah, who knows. So we tend to be confident. While largely a positive trait, the millennial generation's confidence has been argued to spill over into the realms of entitlement and narcissism. Yep, I would agree with that statement. Yeah, we kind of think we're special. I want a medal for showing up. Like, I ate food today and I drank my coffee and I'm drinking my electrolyte solution, so I kind of want a medal. Like, I don't even have to do the adult things anymore. Like, adulthood, don't have to do. The government has given me a 12-month period where I don't have to be an adult. And then at the end of that 12 months, we're gonna, like, look at it again, based on my illness, and, I'll talk a bit more about how this weekend's gonna go for me and how that's, like, adulthood's just not a thing I have to do. But, yeah, so, entitlement and narcissism, yes. Tick and tick. That is me, yes. They are, I'm just really amused by that. Okay. Whew, okay, I got this. I'll pull it together and I'll keep going, I promise. Okay. They are often seen as slightly more optimistic about the future of America than other generations. Well, oh wait, hold on. Let me finish this sentence. They are often seen as slightly more optimistic about the future of America than other generations, despite the fact that they are the first generation since the silent generation that is expected to be less economically successful than their parents. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about that. my parents weren't economically successful, mainly because they wanted to help the world instead of, like, achieve fame and success. So my parents are a little bit of an anomaly there. Also, my mother is American, but she met my dad in Europe, and then they had me, and I was like, I don't fit in this. So I'm what they call a TCK, third culture kid. I don't see myself as an American or really as an Australian. I've got this very different view of who I am. But I don't have an optimistic future about America, which is why I chose to move all the way around the globe and make myself an ocean away from that continent, because the future of that country scares me. I think eventually they will get there. I think that it's not going to be during this president's term, but I think that, yeah, America will eventually start to become, like I said, right side of history, wrong side of history. But I chose to flee America because I didn't want to be part of that, like, shenanigans going on over there. Alright, moving on. Also, I'm not going to be more economically successful than my parents, mainly because I'm living with my parents. That's just that. One reported result of millennial optimism is entering into adulthood with unrealistic expectations, which sometimes leads to disillusionment. Yeah, okay. I don't think that necessarily applies to me, but I do see that applying to a lot of people my age. Many early millennials went through post-secondary education only to find themselves employed in unrelated fields or underemployed and job hopping more frequently than previous generations. I would say that I've been a job hopper, but that's, I think, more of a personal trait than it is, for me, a generational trait. I moved around a lot as a kid, so I find it hard to just stay still and do one thing. Early millennials went through... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that applies to me. Not really sure. Moving on. Their expectations may have resulted from the very encouraging, involved, and almost ever-present group of parents that became known as helicopter parents. I had a lot of friends that had helicopter parents. My goodness. Yeah. Wow. I didn't have helicopter parents that much. They were strict. There was definitely really strict rules growing up. But just because of my parents' lifestyle, being missionaries and having a lot of responsibilities, they didn't have time to be helicopter parents. So I had a lot of independence as a child, and I'm not sure that was necessarily a great thing, but, you know, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I saw a lot of my friends have helicopter parents, and yeah, very encouraging and involved. Yes, I definitely. Our parents, and look, they didn't have that in their parents, and so they wanted that for us. I get that, like, but yeah, it did change us. Alright, millennial statistics. Also, this is just from whatis.techtarget.com. I don't know, it's just some random website. 50% of millennials consider themselves politically unaffiliated. I can totally get that. I used to be very much like, I don't want to be part of politics, get me out, I don't care, don't want none of it. Then I turned 18, I voted for Obama because, dude, I got to vote for Obama. I didn't bother voting the second time, because I wasn't in the country. 2008, 2009. Yeah, 2012. I was here. So I didn't bother voting. However, I registered as a out-of-state voter. I don't know what you call us. You know, those people. I'm an expat. And I voted in this past election. Not that it did me any good. But, like I've said in previous podcasts, my state voted blue. Yeah, I don't know. Moving here into Australia, where as a citizen I have to vote, it makes a difference. Like, I sort of need to know a bit about. So we have Labour and Liberal. Liberal being the Conservative Party. Australia, what's going on here? That's just, it's dumb. But anyhow, I would consider myself politically affiliated with the Labour Party, and that has a lot to do with people in my life that I consider mentors, and their views on different things, and Labour's views on different things. That being said, I think that both Labour and the Liberal Party are both better than, for me personally, than if I lived in the States under either the Democrats or the Republicans. So my affiliation is with Labour, but I mean, I'm not gonna be like, yo, I hate Liberals. There's a few parties that are like horrendous, and I won't name them, but if you voted for them. Anyway. Right, 29% consider themselves religiously unaffiliated. Now, I'm very religiously affiliated, but I do know that many of my peers, many of the people my age, the church sort of really turned them off, and I understand that. And so, you know, we have very theological debates and some great conversations, but they don't want to be affiliated as a Christian, or because, yeah, there's a lot that has been wrongly attached with that name because of some of the smaller vocal groups. Just take the Westboro Baptist Church, for example. Like, people my age, that's like when they think radical Christians, they think Westboro Baptist Church, and that's just sad and terrifying that that's the example out there in the world. They have the highest average. Oh my goodness. Okay, Facebook. Seriously, this drives me crazy. This really gets under my skin. They have the highest average number of Facebook friends, with an average of 250 friends. Okay, I know people on Facebook who like just friend anybody that like they've ever met, and they've got like 1,500 friends, and I'm like, no, you have like 5 friends. Let's be completely honest here. I'm just going to quickly go to my Facebook page. I know that I have a few more than I would normally, because I haven't done a culling lately. So I have 228. So yeah, I'm completely guilty of this. But I do regularly go, look, I don't know this person, I don't talk to this person anymore. But I would say that a decent portion of my friends now are like my parents' generation, finally getting onto Facebook and then like really wanting to be my friends, and I'm feeling like I can't say no because they're like, look, I can do technology. Yeah. Ugh. Right. 55% have posted a selfie or more on social media site. I post selfies all the time. Dude, check out my Instagram. Like, I try and keep my Instagram story pretty amusing, each day or every other day. post inspirational quotes and happy things because that's what makes me happy at the moment. I'm completely and totally, like, if you looked at my Instagram, I am a millennial through and through. Ooh. Yep, okay, gonna skip that one. We send a median of 50 texts today. Okay, well, now here's my thing. Do Facebook Messenger count as texts? Because if so, then I am completely guilty. My friend lives in Israel, so we're in different time zones. Also, we're in different, like, network carriers, so, like, texting's not a thing. But Facebook chat is, and so, like, we Facebook Messenger each other a lot. And so, yeah, I would say I'm guilty of that. Sorry. I'm just... Whew. I don't know how to edit things yet, so we're just gonna have to, like, survive that for a minute. Alright. As of 2012, only 19% of millennials say that generally others can be trusted. Oh yeah, we don't trust anyone. We don't, no. We don't. You choose, like, the, like, 2 people in the world you trust, and then, like, nobody else. You trust nobody else. I'm guilty. There are about 76 million millennials in the United States. Huh. Anyway, not in the US. Millennials are the last generation to be born in the 20th century. Fair enough. My one brother is a millennial, and then I think my other brother is going to be whatever the next generation is. 20% have at least one immigrant parent. Ah, okay, so this is kind of cool. So growing up in the States, my dad was an immigrant. Now we've moved to Australia, my mother's the immigrant. So I've always had one immigrant parent, and then when we lived in Kenya, we were all aliens. But oh, there's a video. I'll have to watch that later. Okay. Millennials in the workplace. Well, I'm just gonna skip that because I'm not currently in the workplace. Yay! Or not yay, I don't know. Millennials grew up with computers, the internet, and graphic user interface. Yep. This familiarity makes them adept at fail at reading, adept at understanding interfaces and visual languages. They tend to adjust readily to new programs, operating systems, and devices to perform computer-based tasks more quickly than older generations. Oh, just a note. So my mother was an iPhone user. We got her an iPhone, and she was okay with that. Well, that phone died, and so I'm no longer an iPhone user. So I'm an Android user. So I gave her my old Samsung, and she'd been using that. It took her about 2 to 3 years to really learn how to use it. Now, just like 2 weeks ago, it died. So she had to get another phone. So we got her another Samsung, thinking, okay, it's a Samsung, it works very similarly. It was like a whole new thing. She was like, things aren't where they were. And like, it took me 4 days of just setting the phone up the way she remembered her other phone so that she could use it again. And I was like, it's the same phone. I mean, like so the same. But anyway, in saying that, I have a Sony Xperia, I think it's like a Z2. It's a huge screen, it's great. I can like basically just watch Netflix on my phone. I just almost don't even need a computer, but I love my computer, so woohoo! Although it's proven that multitasking is not usually an effective way to work, millennials may be the employees that are most likely to pull it off. There you go. Yeah, I'm very much a multitasker. Like, even if I'm watching something, I'm playing a game on my phone, or writing something down, or reading something. Like, I just can't do just one thing at once. It's, oh man, fidget spinners. Like, okay, I know that's supposed to be like a kids thing, but like the fidget spinner has been an amazing thing for me. I love it so much. Anyways, millennials and culture. That ought to be interesting. Millennials have shown in survey to have the least faith in the institutions of America. Yeah. Conversely, they have also shown the highest support of political independence and protester-formed governments. Go Bernie Sanders. That's all I've got to say about that. Yeah, okay. That's enough of that website. Let's go to Urban Dictionary. That's always interesting. Alright. Millennial is an identity given to a broadly and vaguely defined group of people. There are two wings of millennial that are often at odds. Generation Y, born between 1981 and 1991. That's me! And Generation Z, born between 1991 and 2001. That's my brother. People of Generation Y also have characteristics similar to Generation X, which is why Generation Z will confuse Generation Y and Generation X when they claim to be the generation that represents millennial, when in fact birth years for millennial range from about 1981 to 2001, just as the birth years for baby boomers, da-da-da-da-da. Alright, here we go. A term used by insecure idiots to dismiss somebody aged between 10 and 35. Oh, a millennial wrote this because it starts with, we're actually a pretty okay generation, to be honest. Most millennial statement ever. We are cool-headed, easy to talk to, and pretty open-minded. Yes, we have our flaws. Sure, we may not be quite as outdoorsy as the baby boomers were growing up, but I know for a fact that we, along with Generation X, were a lot less ridiculously rebellious than baby boomers were. They oh man, they complain that we're not even as politically engaged as we should be, unless of course we unquestionably agree with all of their politics. Yet we get crap for that as well. Too liberal, yet not political enough? The fuck? Lol. Not to mention that politics in general is very trashy, childish field designed for people who couldn't make something productive out of their lives. Then they take... they're trashing somebody that said we lack common life skills and hardware. Then please tell me why older generations like boomers keep crapping on us about top engineering and tech companies like Google hiring us in droves and pushing out baby boomers. Yep, that's what happened. Millennial, special little snowflake. That's boring. The millennials are crap for healthcare. The millennials need to stop waiting for their dreams to come true and start making them happen. Alright, I need to get off of Urban Dictionary. That's just not productive. Well, that's just a dictionary definition. Yeah, okay, so I don't know. Look, I might be a millennial. There was definitely some things I definitely agreed with in there. I think that my life had a different turn than most people's lives. Having two parents from different continents, and then them being very religious and being missionaries, and having now lived on 3 different continents, I think that my life took a bit of a different turn than most. But yeah, alright. I'll cop to being a millennial. Like, yeah. It's broad enough. It's definitely gonna to add me in there. I'm just quickly looking to see if I can find something else here that might, but too many words on this page. I was hoping for like a list, and we sort of got that in one of them, but anyhow, I'm gonna go back to watching my YouTube and then Netflix, maybe switch over and watch a little TV on the internet, 10 play 9 plus and 7, whatever 7 channel thing is. I'm preparing, so I'm pretty excited. Some upcoming news for me is that, so today's the 25th. This weekend I'm going to be able, so my father is helping me out so that we can go and watch Richmond Tigers, AFL, play Essendon Bombers. I'm pretty excited about that, so I'm sure I'll do like a whole podcast on Richmond. Because, yeah, they have my undivided loyalty, no matter how Richmondy they are. Thanks, Will Anderson, for that. But, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I guess a few things. I would love for you to follow me on Instagram, my millennial thing. Engage with me, chat with me, comment on whatever, give me feedback on my Instagram stories. Yeah, I'm on Twitter like every once in a while, but like not like super much. So Instagram is at WriteOnCat, so it's WRITEONCAT, because I write and I'm cat, and yep, that's my clever little play on words. Same goes for Twitter. Yeah, and I'm supposed to. So I've started this Patreon page. It's a way that you could help support me at some point if you think that you want to help me keep putting this podcast out. I want to raise some money and get like a proper microphone and some real equipment so that I can make this podcast sort of better quality, so it doesn't hurt your ears like as much. Well, unless it's my voice that grates your ears, then there's not really much I can do about that. But if you like hearing what I have to say and you want to help me raise some money to get some better technology and equipment to be able to produce this podcast, then that would really be great. So it's a monthly subscription. You can subscribe at as little as $1 a month. There's a couple of different tiers there, and with the different tiers, if you sign up for more per month, then there will be some little extra behind the scenes, some little extra photos and nuggets and things like that. That will be for you and you alone, because yeah, it'll be exciting. But yes, that is millennial me in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed my little discussion, ramble, rant into what I might or might not be. Because, that's what's up.